I'm Megan, and thank you for joining me on my channel. Be sure to subscribe and like this if you do like it, and leave me some comments. And thank you especially to my patrons and those of you who donate to keep my channel going. So we have had a lot of transition around us, particularly transition that Mother Nature has been serving up by way of some very difficult tornadoes and winds across our country, and my prayers go out to everyone affected by those. And I've also had a lot of personal transition in that I sold my house and packed up and am moving out of the country. So I know that this practice for me is about being able to stay calm and stable even in times of transition, particularly times of difficult or unpleasant transition. So we're going to start on our backs, and we're going to experience ourselves first through the transition of the breath for a moment. So come on to your backs, whatever position feels best for you. Feel free to draw your knees in and roll around a little bit. Let your backside get familiar with the floor. And let your body be fully supported by the earth, whatever position that feels like. You can place your right hand on your abdomen, your lower abdomen, and your left hand somewhere around your heart. And first we begin by just landing. And landing means noticing any parts of your body that are touching the earth. And can you just allow your body, the bones, the muscles, to receive the support of the earth? Can you really just land? What does it feel like to let your body relax into the earth? And once we've done that, then we locate. It's like setting a GPS for you, for this practice today, wherever you are, physically noting maybe if you have any unpleasant sensations in your body, anything that you're dealing with physically, but also emotionally, mentally. Where are you today? And you're just being in that space, setting that GPS from wherever you are. We always want to start by knowing first where we are today. Then feel your breath underneath your right hand and underneath your left hand. See if you can just let your breath breathe you in a way that you feel the full velocity of your inhalation, lifting and lightening your body, that levity, maybe from the abdomen up to the chest. And that complete exhalation, that purging, letting your body feel the way it just falls back into the ground, releases and relaxes. So we begin to notice that even in the transition of our breath, from inhale to exhale, from exhale to inhale, there's a space of calm. And I want you to find those, and we'll take about 1 minute to focus on those spaces of calm within the transition of the breath. So breathe in all the way to the top of your inhalation, to your inspiration, and feel that pause, that calm pause at the top of the inhale, right before it becomes the exhale. Then also notice your complete exhalation and the space at the bottom of the exhalation where it becomes that peaceful pause, that moment of stillness right before you just naturally float back into your next inhale. And take this time to connect with yourself in the transition and the movement of the breath, as well as the peaceful pause and the calm in between each breath in and each breath out. Then you can set an intention for your practice. The intention could be for yourself. It might be for somebody else affected by these devastating weather patterns we've been having. Or your own internal storms. Just feeling yourself through your breath. And we'll start our practice, our physical movement, by taking a full body yawn. Reach your arms and legs as long as you can, like you're starting all over. So we'll move first, and then we'll create space for that calm stillness. So feel free to stretch out in any way you need to. You can move your head side to side, reach through your legs, and breathe out. Land and be still just for a moment. We'll be coming up to all fours, so if you want to roll to your side first, you can, or you can rock up. See how you want to come up today. And finding all fours in a table pose. Wrists are underneath the shoulders and knees are underneath the hips. So part of finding that calm is feeling stable, and you want your arms and legs to stabilize you as well as your core. And we're going to start by taking an inhalation. That's your breath in is your vitalizing part of the breath that will bring you into a back bend, so into your, what we often call your cow pose. And you're just going to exhale and release that and be still. So we're just going to do the cow. You're going to inhale and arch your spine, lift your tailbone. You can lift your head a little bit. And exhale, release to neutral. So the inhalation becomes the activity. The exhalation is that space of coming back to wherever you started. Take one more round. Feel how you can stretch all the way from your pubic bone to the base of your throat, and this time hold it for a few breaths. The space through the front body, the stabilization of arms and legs supporting this position. You can breathe into your ribs and your chest and your lungs. And exhale, back to neutral. Let's do the cat half of that movement, as we often call it. But what we're doing is we're filling our back body. But I want you to do it on an inhalation. So as you inhale, draw your tailbone down, your head down, and lift the center of spine. So you're curling your spine. And as you exhale, release. So inhale, think of breathing into the backs of the lungs. It's like the lungs lift your rib cage, lift the center of the spine. Exhale, gently drop. Inhaling up and exhaling and releasing. Taking a few more of these, noticing the transition. And then the movement back to the stability of the familiar table pose. So now we'll put those two movements together. You'll inhale into your arch. And now, while you're still inhaling, feel your backside, draw your tailbone down, then exhale, push back, and take a full part of that exhalation to let your body just drop into the ground and be still. So we're inhaling, arching, and curling. Exhaling, pushing back, and surrendering into the stillness. Inhaling, arching, and curling. So fill front and back body. Exhale, surrender, soften. So the inhalation again is the movement, the doing. We're arching and curling. The exhalation, just letting your hips fall back towards your heels. Head heavy to the ground, releasing. Arch, curl, and release the weight of your torso to the ground, the weight of your torso into your thighs, your head to the earth. And if you don't want to do one breath per movement, so it all depends on how much movement you need. Really, the movement is just there to create sensation. And the sensation gives our mind something to stay focused on, other than all the transition. So if you can do less movement, and you want to hold that pattern of the exhalation, the child's pose for longer, do that. Otherwise, take your last few rounds, just undulating the spine on the inhalation through the cat and cow, and exhalation brings you into that space of surrender, the calm. All right, we're going to begin to add on to this. You're going to inhale, arch, and curl. Exhale back. This time when you go back, slide your hands back and place your hands on your low back. Feel the way your shins are touching the ground. And we're going to come all the way up onto our shins and our knees. As you breathe in, push into the shins, hug your inner thighs, use your core, and lift up. Take your heart forward, maybe slightly lifting your chin. You can even turn your mouth into a little smile. Take a few breaths there, opening the front body. And then a slow descent. So this is that giving in, going very slowly, keeping the hands on the low back. You're using your core, so we're going to still feel strength and power in this practice. All the way down. Once you're down, slide the hands forward. Inhale back into the arch and curl. Exhale, press back towards the child's pose. Take the hands, place them on your sacrum. Inhale, come all the way up, hug the thighs, bring your thigh bones forward, heart forward. When you're ready on an exhale, a slow, controlled surrender. Hands can come down anytime, but use your core. Doing a few more of these. So undulate the body, forward, arch, and curl as you breathe in. Exhale, that peaceful place your body just falls with gravity. Slide the hands onto the low back. Inhale, lift up, there's the effort. Exhale, slowly releasing yourself, taking the hands down. Last one with these very simple movements. We'll do it in silence. Feel yourself through your breath, pausing anywhere along the way that you want to. Okay, we're going to continue to add, so we're keeping it really simple, but allowing ourselves to move and feel our strength. Hands out in front of you. Inhale, arch and curl. So adding to that pattern. Exhale back into your child's pose. Once again, hands on the low back. Inhale, use the strength of your legs and your core coming up. It's like you're opening up, you're blooming. Exhale, all the way back down. Here's what we're going to add on. Inhale, arch again. This time, as you begin to curl, roll your toes under on your exhale. We're going to lift up into a down dog. And you can pause there. Feel free to lift one heel or the other, or one hip. Work it out a little bit. Gently shake out your head. Might bend one knee or the other. So just like in the table pose, we still want to feel the stability of the earth coming up through the arms and the legs.
You may need to bend your knees more to get a long spine. Take one more exhale there. Then we inhale and we're going to come forward towards a plank. At any time you can come to a knee plank. If you don't feel stable, which if you're not stable, it'll look something like this. We're usually dropping our pelvis, so we want to keep the pelvis at the height of the shoulders if our knees aren't dropped. Otherwise, take those knees down. So we're going from down dog on the exhalation and coming forward on the inhale. So do that a few times. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, float forward, shoulders over wrists. Option to drop to the knees. Exhale, down dog. And one more time forward, and we'll continue this pattern. Exhale, knees down. Inhale, arch your back and curl your back. Exhale towards the child's pose. So let your brain get familiar with this movement. Hands on the low back. Next time you breathe in, lift up onto the shins. Your heart come forward, shoulders back. As you breathe out, slowly drop down. Hands can come to the ground. Inhale, coming forward into your arch. This time as you curl, you roll your toes under. We're lifting hips up and back into down dog. Let the head hang below the heart. Heart gets to take charge here for a moment. See if even here you can settle into that calm space of stillness, even with your head upside down and your breathing upside down. Next breath in, float forward into the plank. Let yourself feel your strength. Knees can be down here or up. Next exhalation, drop the knees. We'll go into the child's pose and take a hold. Few breaths to let that stillness come over your body. Recognizing there's no work to be done at the moment. And we'll cycle through this again. Coming to all fours, that's your stable base where we start. Inhale, arch and curl. Exhale, press back. Feel your rib cage come towards your thighs. Hands on the low back. Inhale, lift up. So each movement is a transition. Exhale. Hands down, coming back down. Inhale into your arch and curl. Roll your toes under. Exhale, down dog. So this time in your down dog, see if you can find those spaces that we found when we were lying down of stillness within the breath and body. So full breath in, find the pause at the top of the inhale. Full breath out. Find that peaceful pause at the bottom of the exhale. One more round like that. You can feel your strength, your stability that's being provided by your arms and legs. Next breath in, come forward into a plank. Still stable, still strong, but recognizing this point of stillness. So we're not letting the breath get ahead of us. If it is, we're dropping down to the knees. Next breath out, knees down. Take the hips back. Take a complete space of rest and stillness in your child's pose. So our practice is a bit like life can be sometimes. Feels like we're go, go, go. For me, it was packing this week. But even within that work, and sometimes the work is not enjoyable, we look for these places of calm and peace and enjoy them because you deserve them. And then it's back to work again, and we put all our effort in to feel our strength, to have confidence in ourselves, and in this case in our practice. Coming back to all fours, we'll do one more round, and again, we're adding on here. So start from the table pose. Feel your stability. Inhale, arch and curl, undulate the spine, have fun with that. Exhale, push your hips back. Hands come to the low back or the sacrum. Inhaling, lifting up. Let your heart be light, shoulders open, thighs are strong. Exhale, a slow descent, strong through your core. Hands come back down for support. Inhale into the arch and curl, this time rolling toes under, lifting up, hips up into your down dog. Sense your weight transferring into your left foot. Inhale, lift just the right leg up. And exhale, let it come down. Replace the right leg, feel your weight in your right leg. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, take it down. If at any time you feel like your breath is strained, we can be on all fours, back to that table pose. And we can do the same thing here. Inhaling right leg up. Exhaling down, back to that safety net. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale down. So modified version on your knees. Or we'll do one more here. Inhale, right leg up. You're still stabilized through 2 arms and 1 leg. Let it come down, feel all 4. It's like this magic of having all 4 limbs supporting you when you were only on 3, right? And come back down. Come forward for your plank pose. Option to stay in plank on your knees. So sometimes it feels like we're having a leg taken out from under us, right? We lose a leg for stability. So can we still keep the breath calm and focused? And exhale, drop to your knees. That complete release, relaxation in your child's pose. Come back into your breath. Body is still. Feeling the breath as the transition, but also sensing those still pauses within the transition of the breath. At the top of the inhale and the bottom of the exhale. And we cherish these moments where we can be calm inside of our bodies when there is that wind of change all around us. So then it's like we build that strength. In yoga we call it our ojas. We build our inner body strength and light and energy so that when it's time to face the transition, we're ready. Arms out in front of us, doing another round. Start from all 4s. Feel the stability of your arms and legs. Locate yourself through your breath. Inhale into your arch and curl, letting your spine just play. Exhaling, hips back towards the heels. Let your hands come onto your low back. Feel your sacrum. Inhale and lift, levitate up. That is your inhalation, your inspiration is your levity. And your exhalation is all about gravity, but a controlled drop. Use your strength. Hands back out in front of you. Once again, undulating the spine. Inhaling into your arch and curl. Exhale, toes roll under. And lifting up into down dog. Or that option is there to stay on your knees. We're going to do the leg lifts again, so it can be from your knees or in your down dog. Inhale, lift right leg up. This time, see if you want to open the hip just a little bit or even just move the leg around. So can you feel stable even when you're only on 2 arms and 1 leg, creating just that little bit of movement, and then drop it down. Feel all 4s. We appreciate that full stability of all 4s after we've lost 1 leg in that stabilization. So then lift up the left one. Sometimes we don't really appreciate what we have until we lose it, right? So as soon as we lift 1 leg up, we realize, boy, maybe it wasn't so hard being on all 4s in a down dog, or even if you're all 4s here. And then come forward as you breathe in into your version of plank. So we're not giving up our strength in this practice. In fact, strength is peace in my mind. There's peaceful strength, there's calm strength. Exhale. But there's also the exhalation, the child's pose, and the full capacity to just receive and relax into that space of calm. You can notice things like maybe your heart is beating a little bit harder. Last round, keeping it simple and sweet. Arms out in front of you. Start with the familiar, all 4s. Stabilize yourself through your arms and legs, through your core. Inhale and let your spine play, going from the arch to the curl. Exhale, take your hips back towards your heels. Feel that nice stretch through the tops of the thighs and your arms. Slide your hands back onto your low back. On an inhalation, press into your shins. Lift up. Express yourself through your heart, through your front body, making space. But even as you're holding yourself up, see if you can find that pause at the top of the inhale or at the bottom of the exhale. Next exhalation, the slow drop into gravity. I think you might even take a few breaths coming down. Let the hands find the ground, inhaling and arching and curling, rolling toes under, exhaling into your down dog, or perhaps all 4s again. Inhale, right leg comes up, lift it wherever you want. You can open the hip. All you want to sense is the way that you can still stabilize yourself. Find the still points in the breath. Challenge yourself to whatever degree feels right for you. Head relaxes. Next breath out. Let that leg come down. Shift. So we want to shift into the right leg, but try to keep equal weight in both arms. Watch it, all the weight doesn't suddenly go into one arm. Lift the opposite leg up. Breathing in and out smoothly. Exhale, legs come down. Both feet on the floor, both hands on the floor. Come forward for your plank pose. Perhaps plank on your knees. Be solid in your determination to make it through the transition, through the work. And then fully enjoy and appreciate dropping your knees and coming into your child's pose, that place of respite and relaxation, the calm strength that we feel in the movement is now a sense of calm, ease. This time we'll pick up slowly. We're going to finish up this practice on our back. So coming onto your backside. Once again, land on your backside. So get comfortable and familiar with the parts of your body that are touching the ground. This time you'll want your knees bent with your feet on the ground. Feet about as wide as your hips. And your feet you don't want to walk them out too far because then your low back will arch. But if they're too close to your buttocks, then your low back will press into the floor. So this is our constructive rest position. Take your arms to your sides. Roll the palms up and gently press the upper arm bones into the ground. Sense the way the breath is lifting you. That's that levity on the breath in. And we'll just do a simple bridge pose. So as you breathe in, push into the feet just slightly. Feel the earth underneath the feet, so that's still your support. And lift up. As you breathe out, slow descend. So we did this before from our shins, right? The action and the work of lifting on the inhale. And the slow but controlled release on the exhale. And the bottom of the exhale, that peaceful pause. And just letting your mind stay present in the sensations that this movement creates. When do you feel the muscles in the back body engage? Can you sense your hamstrings or your gluteal muscles in your butt? And if you sense them, do you feel them engage? And can you also feel them relax? So that is a change. The muscles are changing from a stage of activity to a stage of release. Let's do one more round. Lifting with the levity of your inhale and dropping with the gravity of your exhale. Pausing for a moment, just feel your head. And when you're ready on an inhalation, just let your head roll towards your left shoulder. As you breathe out, roll your head back to center. Breathe in, roll your head to the right shoulder. Breathe out, back to center. So we're starting to make smaller movements, but still enough that we're creating sensation to be present in. Just rolling the head though from side to side with the breath. See if you can still find those pauses, those moments when there's no transition at the top of the inhale. Your head's looking over one shoulder. And at the bottom of the exhale, when the head's back at its center space of grace. We're going to add just a gentle arm movement to this. Bring your head to center. As you roll your head to the left on inhale, reach your right arm up overhead. And then as you breathe out, let the head come back to center, let the arm come down. Doing the opposite side, inhale, roll your head to the right. Reach your left arm overhead, let your waist stretch to the left side. Exhale back. So just letting the head and one arm play. It's like you're looking in the opposite direction of your arm it's reaching. Feeling that natural space of center at the bottom of the exhalation where your body just returns. It's like your home base. We're going to add the legs to this movement too. Next time you inhale, roll your head to the left, reach your right arm and right leg, and imagine reaching them away from one another, lengthen the whole right side body so you can draw your right hip and armpit to opposite ends of the mat. Notice how your left side shortens a little bit. So left side body is short, left side of the neck is short. And as you breathe out, bring the arm and leg back and head back to center. Opposite side, breathe in, rolling the head to the right, reaching left arm and left leg away from one another, so feel the whole waist lengthen. And that's the key, you're in your felt sense, you're just feeling that. Take a few breaths there. Notice how the right side of the waist and the right side of the neck shorten. Breathe out, returning to your neutral position. Opposite side, head rolls to the left, right arm, right leg, reach. Take a few breaths to appreciate this shape you're creating, this container. It's a container for your breath. You might focus your breath into your right lung, breathing into the right lung, feeling the ribs move. Breathe out. Back to the space of neutral. Left side. Head rolls to the right, lengthening the left. Just ask yourself if you want to breathe into your left lung. Exhale back. Do one more round, and this one we're going to hold a little bit longer, so finding more of that calm. As you inhale, roll your head to the left, reach your right arm and right leg along, and you might create even more space in the side of the body by just sliding your right leg over to the left side of the mat and your right arm to the left side of the mat, so creating more of a C curve through your body. The left leg can stay where it wants. You could drop it open. So I often end in this pose. It's a banana asana in yin. That's what we call it. But it's a crescent side stretch. Letting yourself breathe into the right side. So from the toes to the fingers. In the yoga philosophy, the right side is our Pingala Nadi. It's related to our masculine energy, our solar power. It's about movement and transition. It's daytime and light. Strength, mental power, intellect. And for you, it could just be the simplicity of feeling this tension stretching through your right side and being present and breathing into it. Finding that calm. Where is the calm? What feels calm in your body right now? Even if it's just your right pinky toe. Focus on what feels calm and grounded, supported. And we'll slowly come out. You can roll your head back, slide your arm and your leg back in. Come back to a neutral position on your back. Realign your hips and shoulders so they're straight, feet underneath the knees. Second side. Breathe in, rolling your head to the right, reaching left arm and left leg. Start with just that reaching, that lengthening, and then if you'd like, you can slide your left leg over to the right side of the mat and your left arm to the right side of the mat, creating more of that lateral bend or that C curve through the left side of the spine. Right knee and leg can stay where it is, or you could drop it open if you'd like, or lengthen it out. physical body's no longer moving, but our breath still moves. So if your mind starts to take you other places beyond the physical limits of your body, which it will, sometimes we get distracted by things outside of ourselves, and other times it's our own mind, especially when we're feeling a lot of turmoil. Come back and see if you can just stay present in the sensations of your left side. How does your left rib cage respond to your breath? Can you feel it moving? Can you feel your skin stretching? The left side is the Ida Nadi. It's our feminine energy, the lunar power. It's darkness and stillness. It is that space of calm. Connects us to our intuition versus our intellect. The balance for us always comes in letting these complementary opposites both speak however they need to, through our physical bodies, through our thoughts, what we choose to do. There are times we need more movement, we need more transition, and there are times when we need to find the stillness. Not forcing it upon ourselves, but allowing more time for stillness. And when we're in transition, that's often what we need to give ourselves. It's that simple. You can come back out, just giving yourself time to be more still, and whether it's your practice here, or reading a book, bring your legs back, hug your knees into your chest. And I'm going to finish, if you have a wall available, I'm going to finish putting my legs up the wall. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to. But I'm simply going to slide over. Bring my right hip to the wall, so if you're right-handed, you can do right hip. You can fall onto your elbows. If you haven't done this one, it's about putting your legs up first and keeping your butt scooched as close to the wall as you can while you get up there, because it's always easier to push away than to pull into the wall. Having said that, if you're too close to the wall and your hamstrings are pulling, then just slide your heels down and let your knees bend a little bit. So see if you can let the weight of your feet fall into your ankles. Feel the weight of your shins fall into your knees, the thighs into the hips. And the whole leg line, all the way to the legs, just releasing into the torso. Shoulders relaxed. So when we're going through a lot of transition, it often feels like we're upside down. Like our feet are, feels like our feet are being swept out from underneath us, right? And unfortunately, that's been happening in nature lately as well. So this is a purposeful practice. Letting your feet be above your heart. Nourishing your heart. You can even place your hands on your heart. As we come into this quiet space, you can continue to feel the weight of your bones, your leg bones falling into the pelvis, or your back and spine releasing into the earth. You might sense yourself through that gentle transition of the breath, in those spaces of calm, stillness in the breath. But I'll share with you what my invitation has been to myself whenever I start to feel my anxiety brain taking me for a ride in this time of transition. Feel your body, your physical body, your muscles, your bones. And even think of everything that goes on outside of you. That is where the transition is. In the physical space of your body, it's always changing. Even when we're not moving purposefully, we're still changing in our body. And know there's good changes. Your bones are updating themselves, renewing. Your organs are digesting and eliminating for you. Your lungs are breathing for you. All those positive changes that are going on inside of our body. And the transitions outside. All of that is part of your humanness. And as humans, our nature is to change. Humanness is about transition. Now go back into your breath. Find those still points in your breath. Or maybe there's a place in your body that represents calm. And use that for your home, for your awareness. My term for this is the divinity. Our humanness is always changing. Our divinity stays the same. And you can substitute any word in there that you want. What part of you is unchanging? You know exactly what to expect. That deeper place in your subconscious mind, beyond the play that goes on outside of us every day. There is this space of calm. It never grows older. It doesn't experience difficulty or unpleasantness. And it's always there for us. But it's like the whisper in the sports stadium. We have to be quiet enough to hear it. When we were small children, we may have found that our first response to anything unpleasant outside of us to transition was to just moan, to make a small noise. And then if we weren't heard, that noise gets louder. It becomes a cry or even a yell, a scream. We say what we resist persists. And that crying, that screaming, that's all part of the resistance to change, to transition. Instead of fighting the transition of our humanness, we can be present in the unchanged space of our divinity. As you feel ready to come out, and you're welcome to stay here longer, you can slide your knees down the wall, your feet down the wall slowly. Maybe give yourself a little hug. Because we had our feet up for a little while, take your time. You're going to want to roll to one side first. You can use your arm as a pillow. Pausing on your side. And then using your arms and the strength of your arms to walk yourself back up. Whatever your intention was for your practice, I hope that this time helps you to meet that intention for both your body, your mind, and your spirit. And thanks for sharing both your humanness and your divinity with me. Peace, joy, love, and light.